SSI beneficiaries, they just updated your benefit check for 2026 for those of you receiving supplemental security income, which does encompass about 7.5 million beneficiaries. I'm going to walk through multiple different aspects here in this video, all of which directly pertaining to SSI benefits, and I'm also going to answer some questions that I have seen popping up down below in the comment section, and I'm also going to follow up to a video that I had out just the other day talking about some major issues with the SSI program. We've got a lot to talk about here in this video. It's going to feel like I'm going to be bouncing all over the place, talking about multiple different things, but it's all about SSI. Let's jump into the details. Now, first off, Happy New Year. Thanks so much for watching this. Really appreciate all of you. Please subscribe if you're new here. Thanks so much, and let's talk through the details about this. Okay. Now, as I mentioned, all of which pertaining to SSI. Now, first off, let's talk about the obvious ones first. And again, I know these first couple here are going to be super obvious, but I want to point these out because, believe it or not, you would be shocked how many times I see this comment popping up down below in the comment section. I'm just going to answer this one super fast, and then I'm going to get into some other details we need to understand for the new year, which is, yes, your new benefit is $994 as an individual. That's the maximum, by the way. And the new maximum benefit for a married couple is $1,491, all of which fully in effect. And yes, you already got your first payment just the other day. The very last day of 2025, December 31st, is the day in which you got paid, obviously because the first of the month is a holiday, okay? Now again, I know you know that, but I get that question still a shocking amount lately, okay? Anyway, so that's that. Now, when it comes down to the asset allocations or the cash or cash equivalents, those have remained at $2,000 for an individual and $3,000 for a married couple. Just keep those dollar amounts in mind. As somebody living on SSI, I totally recognize you're probably not going to get anywhere close to that amount having as cash or cash equivalents, just because living on SSI, it's like basically impossible to save any kind of money. But just want to point that out for you really quickly. Another question that I get all the time is, what happened to the marriage penalty? Is it still there? Have they removed it? Have they repealed it? Unfortunately, they have not done anything with the marriage penalty yet. It is still fully in effect as of now. Could they possibly repeal it or remove it? Possibly. I'm not sure. I'm just saying that's another common question that I do get. Okay, now, next, I want to get into some other aspects here that I do also believe are very important you need to understand. Now, remember last year in April, lawmakers came out, or I shouldn't say lawmakers, the administration, Social Security Administration, it wasn't lawmakers, the Social Security Administration came out and announced multiple different updates, as in the overpayment schedule, essentially. Remember all this? It was a major mess last year. But I want to point this out. Again, this has been out there in the headlines, as in, is it changing for 2026? Have they repealed it? Where's it currently at? Now, back in, technically it was in March of last year, they announced it, and it was supposed to go into effect as of the end of March. It didn't happen, and then they rolled it out to the middle of April of last year, which is this. If somebody gets overpaid from Social Security, do SSI beneficiaries also see a 50% garnishment to their benefit? Okay, remember this whole mess? We talked about it, obviously last year, again, March, April time. There was a huge mess around this whole situation. Anyway, the only group of beneficiaries that basically didn't see any reduction to their benefit, as in because of the overpayment, SSI beneficiaries, okay? So SSI beneficiaries, you would still get 100% of your benefit. You would not see a garnishment to your benefit at a pace of 50% in the event of the overpayment type of situation, okay? Remember that whole situation that came out? So yes, when it comes down to SSI benefits, they are still restored at 100%. Okay, so again, that's another common question they're receiving. And again, that's something that came out of that change that went into effect last year. Again, March is when it was announced, and it went into effect in the middle of April. But that was a major issue. And then all other beneficiaries, if they were to get an overpayment, then yes, they would see that 50% garnishment to their monthly benefit, if that makes sense, okay? So anyway, that's that. Now, let's talk about some other aspects here as well, which is, what about the video that I had out just the other day where I was talking about this 31+% discrepancy when it comes down to your monthly benefit? Okay, in just a matter of days here, we're going to be getting the new 2026 federal poverty line guidance numbers. Why do we care about this? Well, we care about this because if we think all the way back to the mid-70s, actually, technically, it was the early 70s when SSI was formed. So what is that? 54 years ago now, roughly 54 years ago, we're coming up on that, is when SSI actually started. The purpose of this program was established as an anti-poverty program so that people that are 65 or older, or those individuals under 65 with disabilities, would not need to be reliant on friends and family members and acquaintances or anybody else for their financial stability. So they basically started the SSI program to help individuals with financial stability so they could, live their own independent life. And it was supposed to be an anti-poverty program. Unfortunately, as you've heard me talk about many, many times over the years, this has unfortunately turned into a poverty program because, well, somebody living on SSI, you can't really do a whole lot. You can't really have a whole lot of income. Otherwise, they literally cut you off from the program. They basically take your benefit and say, sorry, you're out of here. And they kick people off of the program that have a little bit of income. Obviously, you can have a little bit, but it's very, very minimal as far as how much you can have as an SSI beneficiary. So, problem being is that the federal poverty line continues to increase generally around a pace of about 3 to 5 or 6% per year, okay? But then we also get the COLA increase applied to SSI benefits, well, for this year, 2.8%. A far cry from how much beneficiaries actually need. The problem is the COLA has not been keeping pace with real price increases and inflation. Therefore, year after year after year, the COLA obviously is not boosting benefits enough. We already know this. We've talked about it many, many times over the last several months. And therefore, beneficiaries continue to fall behind, and the federal poverty line continues to adjust higher by, again, between about 3 and 5 to 6%, give or take a little bit, but that's about what it's been ranging the last several years. So the federal poverty line continues to go up more and more, and the SSI beneficiary benefit checks don't keep up as much. Therefore, there's this widening gap, this discrepancy between the federal poverty line and the benefits for SSI beneficiaries. Long story short, remember, SSI benefits were supposed to be an anti-poverty program keeping parity with the federal poverty line. Well, the video that I had out just the other day, I was talking about this discrepancy. If we take the new benefit amount for 2026, the $994 for an individual, and we compare it to the 2025 federal poverty line, we have a discrepancy of over 31% of a discrepancy. That's nuts, right? That's the discrepancy. Now get this. When we get the new updated information for the 2026 federal poverty line, that discrepancy as far as SSI benefit, the maximum, compared to the federal poverty line for 2026, that discrepancy is just going to get greater and greater. It's probably going to be pushing around 35% of a discrepancy once we get that. What does that really mean? Well, in very simple terms, what it means is that SSI beneficiaries should be getting about 35% more than they're actually getting. That's an increase of about $340-ish a month above what you're currently getting at the maximum of $994 for an individual, just to keep pace with the actual federal poverty line each and every year. Obviously, we don't know what it's going to be yet for 2026, but we're anticipating an increase of about 4%, give or take a little bit. So that's going to be nuts, right? So that's just causing an even further discrepancy with what's playing out here. Anyway, for those who've been reaching out, asking some of these questions and the latest updates, what's going on here, this is what we know as of right now. Obviously, there's going to be a whole lot more information coming out, and there you go. This is what we know, okay? So anyway, I will continue to keep you posted. For those who've been reaching out, asking questions and all of this, I hope this explains it and gives you further detail on what to expect in 2026 and what other details we need to know. But again, just like last year, a whole lot of information changed early on in the year, right? New rules came out, new parameters, all the details like that. Obviously, I will continue to keep you updated as we get any further information on this. Yes, I will certainly keep you updated on that, but just anticipate, just because we're kind of out of the madness of last year, I would not write off 2026 as saying, oh, we're in the clear now, we're good. I definitely would not say that. We're certainly going to have a whole lot more updates out of Social Security, major changes coming in for the year, and again, more major piece of legislation possibly reforming these programs. Regardless, I'll be right here for you, by your side every single day, bringing you the latest updates and everything else coming out. Thank you so much for watching this. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Again, as always, drop your comments, your questions, your feedback, anything like that down below in the comment section. I will certainly make dedicated videos or jump on dedicated live streams, whatever you need. Please drop those comments down below. I'll certainly do whatever you need from me. And again, as always, remember, I'm on your team. I'm here to help you. I'm here to advocate for you. We're here together. I'm here rooting for you, okay? I'm not on the other team. Anyway, I'm here for you, okay? Please remember that. And again, as always, please subscribe if you haven't done so. Big subscribe button down below. Share the video. Otherwise, stay tuned. Happy New Year. Enjoy. And I'll catch you again later in the next video. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again very